Good day, folks, and welcome to this video. In my many years within the specialist sectional title building insurance market space, I have found that there's one particular query or question that comes through far more often from clients than any other. This usually follows them suffering some sort of incident of loss or damage at the property, in which case they would contact us and they would raise the question of, this is what's happened at the property. Are we covered? How does my insurance policy respond? How does it protect me? In an effort to respond to this and to give them the simple, easily to understand response, which can cover the terms and conditions of the policy without actually reading the policy wording, we've come up with a statement. And the statement would read as follows. The insurance policy indemnifies or protects the insured against a financial loss as a result of a sudden and unforeseen physical damage to the insured property that occurs at an identifiable date or time as a result of a single identifiable cause that is not otherwise excluded under the current policy terms and conditions. So that comes across as quite a mouthful, but it's actually quite easily explained if we break it down into 8 simple concepts or 8 simple terms contained within the statement. The first of these would be the insured. Bearing in mind we are talking about sectional title building insurance specifically here. The insured is the body corporate, and as such, only property belonging to or forming part of or in the custody or control of the scheme will be covered. Private property belonging to individual unit owners, occupiers of the property, tenants, visitors would not be covered. For example, vehicles and household contents, not covered by your body corporate insurance policy. The second concept would be financial loss. Every claim must have a financial loss aspect to it. No financial loss, no claim. The insurance policy is all about protecting the financial interests of the insured. Your third point, and often quite a controversial one, is sudden and unforeseen. Insurance is all about covering against unforeseeable occurrences that happen suddenly or without warning. Anything that does not comply with this is generally regarded as gradual, and as such is preventable or foreseeable, which means it could be avoided or at the very least minimized. Damage occurring over a period of time, gradual deterioration, those sort of things are not going to be covered by insurance, either because they could have been prevented or they could have been minimized, as in, instead of suffering 10,000 rands worth of damage, you've now suffered 20,000 because it was allowed to sit and fester and rot and deteriorate. Next point would be physical damage. Building insurance, property insurance is all going to be about physical damage. There must be actual damage to property. If actual damage cannot be identified, the insurer cannot respond with compensation. Next, we have insured property. Only property included under the various definitions in the policy wording is covered. Example, buildings is defined as including various items, but also excluding various items. So it's quite important to understand what is the insured property. Certain risks would be classified as non-standard risks, for example, thatch larpers, thatch roofing, non-standard, and they wouldn't be included in the policy automatically. They would have to be insured separately. Any other items that might want to be added to the policy, items in the open. Currently in the marketplace, we're seeing a very big upswing in things like solar panels. All that sort of stuff would need to be included into the policy if it's not actually included under the definition of buildings. Very important to be aware of. Next, we would have identifiable date and time. In terms of any insurance claim, one of the first questions the insurer is going to ask is, when did it happen? We need to know when it happened. The damage must occur at a specified date or time. Alternatively, it would happen over a period of time, which means it cannot be identified as a single incident, but as a gradual one. Insurance is not about covering gradual damage, gradual deterioration. It's about covering those unforeseen, sudden events. So you must be able to identify the date and time when it happened. If you cannot do that, generally your insurance claim is going to be in jeopardy. Next, we would have single identifiable cause. Very much like the identifiable date and time, there has to be identification of the cause. The actual cause of the damage must be identified in order to confirm that it is actually an insured peril. There are many causes not covered, example, wear and tear, defective construction. So if the insurer is going to respond to your claim, they need to know that that particular cause of damage is actually included under the policy, or alternatively, it's not specifically excluded. And so it's vitally important that you, as the insured or your contractor, identify the source and the cause of the damage. There may be occasions when the cause of the damage is not covered, but the resultant damages may be. But it's vitally important to identify that source, that cause. Then last but not least, we have not otherwise excluded. Besides the terms and conditions in the policy wording, which would be your standard terms and conditions featured within that particular product, there are also some specific terms and conditions in the policy schedules. On occasion, insurers may limit or exclude some cover for specific reasons, such as increased or unacceptably high risk or due to claims history. Your insurance is always all about accepting and understanding the risk. Your insurers will identify the risk and they will present you with a set of terms and conditions. Where your risk varies from the norm within that particular category, so for example, residential buildings, your insurer may want to apply increased or more restrictive risk terms. And it's vitally important that you as a client or insured are aware of those. Those will have an impact on any cover and claims that may be lodged. So that in a nutshell is a summary, or a bird's eye view as I like to call it, of how your insurance, your building insurance and sectional title covers you. I hope it's been of assistance and this helps you to understand where you stand as the insured in terms of this. Thank you very much.